what is your definition of a leader?
Well, I think there's many definitions of a leader. I think a leader is looked up to. I've been being honest. I think our society, our world, uh, there are certain people that are looked at to lead. There are certain people that want to have someone lead them so they can follow. I think a leader would be able to give confidence to the people that he's involved with, that he's going to take care of them, he's going to make the right decisions to better them. Uh, he is not going to make things appear in one way that in reality aren't, so he's not going to lie to them. I think a leader is compassionate. I think a leader at times has to be forceful. I think a leader at times has to look and see who he's dealing with and understand the fact that he doesn't always walk in their shoes. He doesn't always know the parameters of the people that are following him or that he's involved with. So I think that all those things wrapped into one. I think compassion, I think honesty, I think demonstrating that you're going to work as hard as anybody and you want them to have that work ethic too. You're not just going to tell them things to do, you're going to do the same things they're doing.
Okay, and as you were a leader, what are some ways that you incorporated creativity into being a leader?
Well, it depends on what you lead. You know, leaders of corporations, leaders of schools, leaders of armies, uh, coaches, teachers. There's always various things that differ. Actually, the reason for that is actually what you're leading, except going back to the points we just covered. It's the compassion, the energy, those things. I think when I was coaching, I think that trying to make practice creative, trying to be innovative, trying to not make practice a joke, but certainly make it fun, where you do not regret or hate going out to practice. And all those things, to make that happen, it's a change of pace, it's a change of plans, it's a change of routine. And I think there's a great deal of creativity involved in trying to do that.
Okay. So when you were in Indiana, like that's where you went to high school, did you know you wanted to be a coach then?
Actually, my first 2 years in college, I spent at Butler University in Indianapolis, and I was a marine biology major. And my whole idea and plan at that time was to try to harness the ocean by turbines in the Gulf Stream, etc. And there was one problem. You know what that was?
No.
I couldn't pass them. So by that time I got back to school, and I got hurt. I was on football scholarship at Butler, but I got hurt playing. I couldn't play anymore. I went and volunteered, helping coach football, and then left a little bit for doing started the wrestling program at Rockville Central Catholic where I went. And my high school football coach, who was still there and he's still alive and still contact him. I had a situation in my life when I was in high school that wasn't pleasant. And if it wasn't for that guy, I don't know what would have happened to me. And I've always respected him for what he stood for his qualities. And I think in a lot of ways, one of the reasons I got into this was to make an effort to help people in their struggles and help people in their lives before someone helped me. And I don't know if I've done that. I hope I have in some ways, but that's one of the reasons that led me into coaching.
So how was it in 1975 being first year as a new head coach?
1975, spring of 75, the first spring that we started as a staff, Jeff Flint was started.
Oh.
Yeah. So anyway, through that I was teaching PE and I went in and strongly encouraged guys in PE class to play football. And I mean strongly. Yeah. And so we ended up with about
first year, and at the same time, we decided, as a staff, we weren't gonna play anybody, both ways. Because we thought if we could play guys one way, it might not be, we might not have the best guys in the field, but we have more guys playing, which in our minds would increase the entry. And, as time went on and time went on, now you see what we got, we have 230 or 250. We didn't have a stadium, necessarily. We ended up building what we now know as Brian Piccolo Stadium in 1975 in the summer. The home bleachers were very small. The visiting bleachers we actually built using coaches and parents, pouring concrete, doing all the work ourselves, not a company did that. The press box at that time was wide open. There were no windows, no sides. It was just simply like I guess you could say metal scaffolding with a deck where the announcer was, and a top on that where the film guy was. And as we went along, we were able to get lights. Fort Lauderdale City wanted to have a soccer league. We said, okay, you can build, we'll put the lights on our field, and as long as, you'll pay for them, but we'll let the city use the field. And that marriage lasted a few years, and they decided that they did not want to sponsor soccer anymore, so they just literally gave us the field, and we had to pay off the rest.
Okay.
So that's how that came about.
So, as it's been a long time since 1975, what are some of the greatest moments you've had as head coach?
Oh, Colin, that's a real tough subject. Obviously, I mean, they were, the thing I think that, you need to understand, anybody needs to understand is that, you're in any type of business or whatever, you're gonna experience some great things. I think the thing I experienced more than anything else is real human beings. We've had some great guys, great players, great support. Those are the memories I share. As well as, winning state championship, or even in 2006 being down 35-14 with a couple minutes to go against Lakeland and coming back tying the game. And even though we lost the game, that was a great moment. 92 first state championship, 2008, 2010 winning national championship. But most of all, good for them.
Okay, that's a different perspective than like people would think you'd say. And all leaders have times of struggle. What was one of yours? Or what were yours?
1989, in that 46, losing season, we acted in a bad way. Didn't handle that right. As a leader, you encourage people, you're not going to win every game.
Well, obviously,
right?
you have, but not
So,
all.
but if you're successful as a leader, you got your players believing that they have an opportunity to win every game. And if you lose them, you have to have the ability to make sure that you lost the game, go out the door, go home, back there tomorrow, and start practicing again. The point six is a struggle for me. And that, like I said, it took me quite a while to understand that, hey, we can get this going again. In 1990, we did. 91, we were state runner-up. 92, we were state champs, and it was what it is.
Yeah. Now, as a filmer, I would like to ask a few things. One being, how did the ability to film change coaching in general?
Your knowledge of film is what?
I mean, I know it. I uploaded. I know that they use it. I know it needs to be. Obviously, it lets you view the things you couldn't see as a coach.
You ever seen one of these?
No.
You know what's in here?
I'm assuming the old film, like a film reel.
This is the first varsity game of the year 1976. This is the offensive cut-up. This was film as we knew it back then.
Wow.
You couldn't copy this film.
No. Now I can.
It went into a big machine. It was developed. There's an archive across the hall that has every game that I've ever coached here. A lot of it is this. The next evolution was
The VCR.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, you could copy this,
Well, yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Next was
CD,
Mm-hmm. And now what do we got?
USB, and it's all online.
Absolutely. So the question is, what did film do? This was technology to us back in the 70s. It's CAN. Okay, 90s. So it has changed totally changed. Okay, because you or coach can get a film from some other team instantaneously off this machine, right?
Mhm.
If we traded films with people that were from out of town or whatever, we put these cans on a Greyhound bus, and you hope that the guy you were trading with did the same thing. Then you would go down to the bus station and wait for the bus to come in to pick up the film. That's how that's changed.
So, did the evolution of this technology change the way you coached? Because the first year you didn't have this.
Absolutely. I mean, right now, coaches have tremendous advantage because everything's a touch. Back then, I mean, you'd get films that were shot by non-professional photographers where you couldn't see anything. And yet here you are filming with professional people, and so really you lose out because the quality of the film, those things. So a lot of times teams we played, we had no film, we operated in the dark because we didn't have the information that's available now.
Mm. Now, why did you come to Florida to coach? I mean, you were obviously in Indiana before, but I mean, coming to Florida was a question Mr. Milgram was wondering.
January 1st, let's say the year 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70. January 1st, the temperature is in Lafayette, Indiana?
Cold.
Cold. What's the temperature in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, all
80
those
degrees.
years? Absolutely. No, I wanted to go somewhere south. I thought that I applied for a job at Phoenix St. Mary's, came down and interviewed at a number of schools here, and Monsignor Kelly gave me the job as a head wrestling coach in 1972 to start the wrestling program. I was also assistant football coach and assistant track coach that first year.
And as the last question, now that you're retired, what kind of things do you do during the day? I mean, obviously, we saw you still schedule things, but what else do you do?
Same thing I did. I've been the AD since 1982.
Oh, okay.
So that hasn't changed at all. And we've been in the midst over the past couple years, basically since I got out. We redid the weight room, redid the entire junior varsity locker room, built a mini gym, resurfaced the track, put in a new practice field. This summer, with all the remodeling around here, basically what I'm trying to do and what this office is trying to do is make us the best we can possibly be with what we have. And a lot of times that's time consuming.
I see. It's taking a lot of time just to get this arranged.
Well, from what it was, wow.
Yeah. Well, thank you
Not a
for
problem. Thank you
the
guys.
interview. Okay.